Good afternoon, I'm Lindy Heyer. I am here to present to you today a study skills and time management class that I would like to see implemented into the high school or junior high, if not both, for the up and coming year. This is something that is extremely important. Students need to know it, they need to understand how it works, or as you will find later, they're unsuccessful when they get to college. So I do feel it is in the best interest of our school district, for one, to have it in class. It is, was at one point in time taught in the classes, and it is no longer. So some of you may have had it when you were in school. You can attest to how important it actually is. I am a college student, and I can tell you if I didn't have it in school, I would not be able to make it through college. It is what saved my life in college. Most students in college have issues with time management. This poor little girl looks like she's about to have a heart attack. She's got all the books in front of her and she's like, how am I gonna get through this? So I did a look on the internet to see what the percentages of college students to, successful college students to dropout students was actually at, and it's extremely high. The main reason that I found for college students to drop out is overwhelmed. They have no clue. That's what time management and study skills will do, is it will help them to understand what they're doing. It makes them more accountable, it explains the importance of scheduling, it explains, gives them a sense of control. They have control over their lives. They work to relieve some unnecessary stress, which comes with, what do I do? I'm in this class, this guy's talking to me, what do I do? Time management and study skills can help with all of these, and they can only be taught to students. I mean, they can be taught anytime, but if a student is taught right, they'll carry it with them. Next slide. Does that look familiar? Do you feel that picture? Okay, that's college students. 90% of them will tell you they have no idea what they're doing. You can ask them, what is the biggest problem that you faced when you went to college? They're gonna tell you, I had no idea how to study. That was something that I wasn't taught. Procrastinators are also their worst enemy. I'm a procrastinator, but not when it comes to school. I set down a time and I get it done. 90% of your college students are procrastinators. 90% of our high school and junior high students are procrastinators. They wait till the very last minute to get anything done. And that's why we see poor grades. If they don't procrastinate, which only 10% didn't, the grades are better. They may not completely understand everything that they did, but the grades are better. Time management skills, the way that I would like to see it taught is that a video will be used. Lynda.com has several wonderful videos over time management. And that would be used just as an intro. This is what you're going to learn. We need to show students what a syllabus is and explain to them how important that syllabus is. We also need to show them how to use it within the time management skills section of it and how it's used on your scheduling. Then we need to go back and teach them the importance of beginning things ahead of time and not be the quote-unquote procrastinator. So now on for the study skills. How many of you see those students that actually study and get things done as opposed to the students sitting on the computer on the laptop watching Netflix? That seems to be what students today are. They're the monkey sitting on the couch watching Netflix. Therefore, they know absolutely nothing when it comes time to take a test, do a paper, and you get the paper that's self-explanatory. So why study skills? We want them to realize that college professors do not teach like our undergraduate professors. They're not high school education teachers, unless you're going into the education field. I've heard that from several different people. Students have not been helped to learn without extra assistance. Students feel like they have to have that paper in hand that tells them what they're supposed to do. They don't know how to think on their own. We have to teach them how to think on their own. This is where the syllabus is crucial. It is like their quote-unquote Bible for college life. It gives everything that they need, dates, their habits that are the things that they have to have with them at a certain scheduled time. Mine, for instance, has chapters that we have to read, and then it has tests that we have to take included inside of it, and it also has documentation that needs to be looked at and other necessary items for the class. But if they don't know it's there and they don't know how to go find it, they can't get it done. They also need to learn how to take that syllabus and schedule it into their study time, which also flows with your time management. So we need to teach the kids how to not only use their calendar and their scheduling book as putting time in, but how to also go through and pull the dates that are necessary and place them. Reading will not pass you. Cramming will not pass you. You must understand the material. You can't do it the night before. So on teaching study habits, we need to teach them different styles. Lynda.com has 1,000 different styles. Actually, I think they're really like 30 sites short of having actually 1,000 different types of study habits that were in long documentations where you sat and listened to a professor forever, or slideshows where you could actually go through and see what they did. Then we need to go through and explain that it's only a guide. It's not a set in stone. It is just a guide. They're gonna have to change it to fit them. Sometimes this is gonna include flashcards. Quizlet's a good one, and getting in a study group. Having a good study group is extremely crucial. So in the conclusion of this class, the kids are gonna know time management. They'll have a good grasp of it. They're gonna understand why it is and why it works. They're also gonna have a good foundation on the study skills, which is also gonna lead to good study skill habits in the future. So we're going to learn how to organize, and in some situations economize, streamline, prioritize is the main thing, and then we're gonna have to teach them how to contribute. They have to learn how to contribute, because especially if they're gonna be within a group, they've gotta be a part of the group. They can't just sit there and be a sponge and soak it all in. And studying self-knowledge is important. Organization, listening, note-taking, memory. This is not gonna be done easily. It has to be a habit. Every habit has to be repeated. Repetition, repetition, repetition. It's gotta be done. If it's not done, they're not gonna learn it. So what we wanna come out of this, you add time, you add study skills, you should have an effective, confident, awesome student turning into an awesome adult that's able to take it and run from there. So in conclusion, I would really love to see study skills put back into the school. They need to be there. Time management also needs to be there. It should start, if it doesn't start in the early years, it's got to start in high school. These kids graduate, they go to school, they have no clue what they're doing. We have a young lady that graduated from Texan High School last year, I believe, not 2019, but 2018. She was top of her class. She went to college, she failed out the first year. The people that she had a scholarship for happens to be one of my best friends. She came back and the first words out of her mouth was, I had no idea how to study. I relied too much on everything that my teachers did for me in school that I didn't know how to handle it when I got out of school. We need to teach our kids how to handle it when they get out of school. They rely on the teachers way too much. I know a lot of the kids from last year and the year before in Dalhart have also made the very same comment. They rely on their teachers too much. And they were quote unquote lazy, and they'll tell you that straight up. So we need to really work on getting time management and study skills back. It's crucial. You're gonna use it not only in school, you're gonna use it when you're a graduate, you're gonna use it when you get into life. There's many, many, many different job placings that you can have where time management's a necessity, and going back and getting more education is also a necessity. So you use it throughout life. So if there's a way we can get it back in, we really need to push for that.